Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sue with Homesteading with Sue. And as you can see on my table, I have just about, there's 5 pounds here and 4 pounds here. So just about 9 pounds of medium cabbage, Napa cabbages. And the recipe calls for 2 pounds. And then per jar, a 2-pound head will make 2 quart jars. So then it needs a half a cup of prickling or preserving salt, which I have. You can also use the kosher salt if you want. 1 large Asian pear, cored and cut into chunks. 5 cloves of minced garlic. 1 2-inch piece of gingerroot, peeled and sliced. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. 2/3 of a cup of Korean chili flakes. 1 medium daikon radish, peeled and cut into slices. 1 bunch of green onions, cut into 1-inch slices. And 3 large carrots, peeled and grated. What you do is you wash your cabbage under cold water. Then I'll cut it into quarters. Remove and discard core. Slice quarters into 2-inch pieces, or 2-inch strips. In a large stainless steel or ceramic bowl. I do not have a bowl big enough, other than these big Tupperware bowls, to do this in. And I'm going to do it in 2 batches because one person likes it hotter than the other person. And then we will squeeze the salt into the cabbage and let it sit for about an hour. Then in the food processor or blender, we will puree the Asian pear, garlic, gingerroot, and sugar until smooth, which I'll do that all together. And then add the fish sauce. I can do that all together. Then I'll have to take it out and then add the chili flakes so that they don't get too hot for the one person. And then I'll drain and rinse the cabbage with cold water to remove as much salt as you can. Return to a clean bowl and combine with radish, green onions, and carrots. Add the pureed Asian pear mixture and combine well. Divide the mixture evenly between 2 quart jars, pressing down firmly with a wooden spoon or a I have a it's kind of like a mallet. I'll use this to do that with. And then rinse out the mixing bowl with a half a cup of water and divide in between the jars. If the kimchi does not come to the very top, clean the empty space between on the inside of the jar so with a paper towel so that bacteria won't grow. And then we'll center lid on the jar. And then after that happens, screw band on loosely and let the air escape as it ferments. Place each jar on a plate in a dark, cool place, 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It should take between 24 and 36 hours for the fermenting to take place. And once the kimchi has fermented, tighten the lids and store in the refrigerator. It will continue to ferment, but not so fast. So Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut into this to remove the core. I just cut around the core and then it just comes out. Well, usually, except for today when I'm probably, while I want to do it, it's not going to do it right. There it is. So I'm just going to cut the rest of this off. I'm just going to do this 1/2 and then I'll come back afterwards and show you. So I'm just going to cut it in half again, and then in half again. And then we're going to cut about 2-inch . I usually don't make this much at a time. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm doing it as a birthday gift for my niece and my sister-in-law. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stuff that's cut in here. Alright, since this is almost 6 pounds of Napa cabbage, I'm going to use 3 cups of canning salt. Actually, I'm going to use 2.5 cups. 3 cups seems to be a lot. Then you just get it in there, start squeezing it together. Make sure you get it nice and in there. All of the cabbage. This will take the water out of the cabbage. Okay, I'm just going to put this over here out of the way and start on the other one. Alright, so we had asked for 1 medium daikon radish, and I had a total of two, one pretty large and then the other one was smaller. And I'm just going to, it says to cut into thin slices, but I'm just going to go ahead and grate it. Which you probably don't need to watch, but I'll go ahead and do some. Alright, it says 3 large carrots per batch. I just bought a 16-ounce bag of baby carrots that are already filled. And I'm just going to shred them like I did the daikon radish. Okay, so I already have the sugar in here, and I'm going to stick the gingerroot, the pear, and the garlic, and then go ahead and mix. I'm going to divide it in half like I did the carrots and the daikon radish, and then we'll go with the rest of what needs to be done after that. And by the way, we parade all that together. All right, the next step is to cut the green onions into 1 each slices. And then after this, I will go ahead and start to rinse the cabbage. I am not going to show you how to do that. I think you guys should know how to rinse cabbage. Okay, I'm going to put this in with the pear stuff, the pear pea and the onions, and I mean not the onions, but the garlic and the ginger root. There you go. Finally figured out how to say that. So my next step is to go ahead and rinse the cabbage. I did this to show you the how much water we got out of the cabbage. Quite a bit, actually. So now I'm going to go ahead and rinse it. All right, so I am putting back in the Asian puree that had the garlic and the ginger root and of course the pear. Now it calls for 2/3 of a cup of Korean chili flakes. They're really hot, so because it's a bigger batch than normal, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little under 2/3 of a cup for her because she doesn't like it extremely spicy. And we're going to put that right directly into the food processor. I do need to do 6 tablespoons. What did I do with my spoon? 6 tablespoons of fish sauce, if I can find my tablespoon. All right, found it. I'm going to go ahead and do 6. When I put this into, or write it out for you, I will do just a single batch. I'm not going to try to do this double batch thing. So you can do what you want after the fact. We're just going to mix this together well. Knock it down a little bit. And do it again. All right. Probably should be wearing gloves at this point because of the heat of that Korean pepper flake. I'm going to go ahead and get it in here. I did hers first because I didn't want the other Korean flakes to mess up the thing. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest. The shredded daikon radish and the shredded carrots. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm just going to get my hands in there and start mixing it around and combine it really good. At this point, you do not want to touch your face. And I didn't get any jars out to show you how to pack it, but I'll do that in just a second. All right, I'm going to get some new gloves and some jars. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to start to fill this jar with this kimchi. I'm just going to use my hand to do it first. I'm using a canning funnel because it makes it easier for it to go into the jar and not make such a mess on the jar. I am going to go ahead and use this stomper to get it down in there really good. And when I'm done with this jar, I'm going to label the lid with an R so that the people don't get the wrong kimchi. This looks about perfect to me, and it's down into you can see where the liquid is on top of it, so it looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on, a ring on it. No, a lid on it, and then a ring. But I'm just going to barely put it on because you don't want it to get backed up on air because it will blow it off. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will show you how many jars I got completely out of all of it when I'm done loading the jars. Okay, I did forget to tell you about one step. You're supposed to rinse your bowl out, which isn't easy with a bowl this big. And then equally put some juice on the top. Okay, the first one, I got three, or just about three quarts out of it. All right, so as you can tell, I got 6 quarts and a half of, a pint of kimchi. And as usual, I'm using my Denali canning lid. Oh yes, I did forget to say that it'll sit there for 24 to 36 hours. And then it'll be ready to eat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.